Okay, this is the great and glorious Nick Dutch, professional tarot reader, back again one more time. This is another tarot reading I've done for another one of my clients. Now I want you to pay attention to this one because it looks rather unusual considering the nature of the question. People ask me the question, I lay out the cards, I read the symbols, I read the feelings, the energies, the emotions, whatever you want to call it, and that becomes part of my interpretation and part of the subject of the conversation between myself and my client. What you got in front of you right now is a standard social interaction tarot spread, which I tend to do, and if used successfully in my work, as I've been going full-time over the past 12 years, okay, or nearly 12 years. It'll be 12 years this November that I would have opened up my doors, so to speak, to interact with people in a full-time professional level doing tarot reading. Okay, we got an inquirer, okay, a lady inquirer, inquiring about this one particular person. She doesn't know him all that well. Okay, she knows of him, she's aware of him, he is aware of her. There has been no further communication about anything, but yet her question is there some potential to develop a relationship, and where are things going to go? Right, now, for those of you who've been following my channel and following my readings for a while, you understand some of the ways in which I interpret some of the cards. And if you think about it, on his side of things, lightning struck tower reversed implies having had difficulties and is working at getting over them. Now these could be difficulties in terms of personal development, ideas, values, social problems, sexual problems, anything else, including financial and career orientated problems. So this is somebody who's pulling themselves out of the darkness but isn't quite there yet, but also with a great sense of hope and optimism for the future, and also a bit of a sense of there being a desire for something more recreational and pleasurable, a bit of a vision that new things could start to emerge in their life. This is quite a young, a young potential couple, so you can understand that would fit the time of life according to what the reading is implying. Okay, energy on her side of things more gentle, more stable. So we got a problem here, because on her side of things she would expect that he would see the world in the same way that she sees the world. She's had financial stability for a lot of her life. We haven't got really many signs associated with disruption or difficulty or despair. Also on her side of things, she's got a vision of the kind of the man that she's looking for, which essentially means someone who is stable, probably financially well off. So we've already got a discrepancy on his side of things when he's not doing very well, but he's getting there, but has the character strength to carry on overcoming all kinds of obstacles. So he's got the character and personality and values, which is right to build a good relationship with. She has a vision of someone who's already sorted out and had probably been looking after himself and all that kind of stuff. I don't think he's quite there. Alright, he's got his vision for the future sorted out and all the rest of that. He's going to see he can become great, but he's not in the mode that she wants. So when she's in communication with him, there'll be some difficulties. But it doesn't mean to say that it's impossible. Now this card here is actually labeled victory. Okay, so essentially there can be a victory in the communication. We've got air or fire signs associated with that depending upon the interpretation that you're using, which can mean communication and passion, and also energy and vitality. So there's a great portent for the communication quality to be pretty intense, pretty powerful. There will be communication, there will be overcoming of issues and obstacles associated with that if she's not being too stubborn and if he's not being too stupid, okay, or indeed screwed up as a result of his bad past. So there is going to be some challenges here. I cannot provide a black and white answer to the inquiry of is it going to happen. Alright, because as we can see, we've got so many social forces, psychological forces going on just basically upon those four cards. Yes, there is a promise of some progress, and there's a bit of a healing dimension to that particular card as well. So essentially, the potential is great, but there has to be a big step change. Now, from a fatalistic point of view, some readers would say that there's a reason they both come together, so that he can understand what a woman really wants, and she can understand the variety of people that there are out there, and to learn to see the depth of the character and what's really important in a man. Okay, so that will give her the ability to build relationships for the future, and that will give him an understanding as to basically what he should be by now and what work he has to do on himself, which is brought about by this cup card here. Does that make sense? Okay. Right, now, next three cards, short-term, medium-term and long-term future. Interesting sense of energy there. Remember, future is potential to a certain degree. It can be actual under some circumstances as well, but to the most part it's potential and explaining the way that things can actually transpire. So your medium-term future sign is absolutely fantastic. Traditional, there we go, Two of Cups love signs. That's the ideal scenario you want to have in a good relationship reading. That card coming out at some point. Again, re-emphasizing the energies for the forces between the couple, okay, talking about communication which can lead to something good, but you've got darker signs and darker colours and darker energies for your short-term future, which can then lead to a time of balance and understanding, okay? So, what actually is going to happen? Now, with help of proactivity on her side of things and understanding on his side of things, this time won't be as dark. The first 3 months will not be as dark, okay? Because this is a cup suit, remember, that does speak about social interaction and therefore the ability to overcome difficulties. If you both approach it from the right way and with trust and with tolerance and perseverance and good explanation and good communication. Forgive me, okay? I have a slight cold. Right, but we also have this energy here which is very positive communication, providing better portents for this troubling time in the future. So I have to warn the clients that there will be communication in the future, but also that there will be some difficulties associated with it. If you can get through that time with, patience, tolerance, perseverance, understanding, communication and connection, you can then lead on to a more medium-term future time between 3 and 6 months time down the line from now. That will be fantastic. Okay, but even that is still a learning time. You've got to carry on asking questions, participating, exploring and laying down boundaries in order to bring about the time of peace, balance and understanding and a good future. So there's a bit of a journey to go through over the first 6-month period of the developments of this relationship on the basis that she, the inquirer, is brave enough. Now, why am I saying her rather than him? I'm saying her because she's the one who's asking of me, and therefore she is the one who has power over her life, and I'm the only person who can influence her. I cannot influence him. Sure, I can do great, cool, fun things such as a candle burning exercise and all that kind of stuff, which could hypothetically increase the potential for your beneficial, eventualities there and there, and of course bearing the symbols within the cards in mind when I'm doing that. But also, to the most part, it's a question of me using my language to help her to recognize she has a part to play too. Now, the problem was when she got in touch with me is that she didn't want to. Okay, she didn't want to take action because it's his turn, apparently. But they hadn't actually been in proper communication prior to this time, which then makes it difficult for him to understand, especially considering the problems he's coming from, okay, as to where she's coming from, because she's got a different perspective about what a guy should be about, what a relationship should be about. So she's jumping to conclusions here, and she has to have her perspective changed in order to help bring about, your medium and long-term future. And also bearing in mind that if there's any negative emotions during the short term, I've got to help her to not take that seriously. Now you can see how difficult it is being a tarot reader, okay? And this is quite a simple, straightforward question and inquiry, but also a relatively familiar situation which happens. So I'll leave you with that right now. I'll leave my links below as is traditional. My name's Nick Dutch, professional tarot reader, nearly 12 years worth of professional work, and I look forward to your calls. Bye for now.